Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelts. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of The Show with No Name. I'm your teacher, Alberto Alonso, and it's great to have you back. Now remember, one of the biggest things, one of the most important things when learning a language, or really doing anything, you can apply it to anything, is consistency. A little bit every day goes a long way. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. He rimado sin querer. Yeah, a little bit of English every day goes a long way. Da para mucho. It goes a long way, believe it or not, because a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, and you've got a big, beautiful painting, right? Un poco de rojo, un poco de azul, una montañita, and in the end, at the end of a week, the end of a month, the end of a year, you'll be surprised. Just think of this. Think about this. If you learn one idiomatic expression a day, que no es mucho, no te estoy pidiendo mucho, I'm not asking for much here. If you learn one idiomatic expression a day, how many expressions will you know by the end of the year? You guessed it, 365. That's a lot of expressions. Or, hey, maybe not expressions, maybe just a vocabulary word. And here on the show, I would say in a typical episode, we probably look at over 50 different vocabulary words, idiomatic expressions, common mistakes, grammar points. So really, there's a lot to be learned, but don't get overwhelmed. Do you know this word? This adjective, to be overwhelmed or to get overwhelmed, is abrumarse. I know, it happens. Sometimes students say, oh my God, there's so much I don't know. Don't think like that. Yeah, like everything. The more you know, the more you don't know, right? Because the more you have to learn about it, the more you realize, oh wow, sé poco. And that comes from leaving your comfort zone. But if you never leave your comfort zone, if you just say, yes, thank you, I'm 47, my name's Alberto, and you never leave that comfort zone, how do you expect to have a conversation with someone on the subway in London, or the tube, as they call it? Or how do you expect to be able to chat with your waiter, el camarero, next time you're in New York or traveling around the United States? And let me tell you something. Waitstaff es gente de los restaurantes. The waiters, o también se puede decir servers, and the bartenders, there's nobody that knows a city better than them. Seriously, I know because I worked in New York City as a waiter and a bartender. And when people were nice to me, right? When people tipped me, me dieron buena propina, they were really nice to me, I would give them all kinds of insider tips. Tips son consejos, también se puede decir pointers. Mira, más vocabulario. Tips or pointers. And insider is de alguien que sabe, right? Not the ones that come in the guidebook or TripAdvisor. Those are the ones anybody can take a look at. I'm talking about the ones that only people who live in that city and work in that city know. And the only way to get those insider tips is by striking up a conversation. Del contexto, seguro que has adivinado que to strike up a conversation es entablar una conversación. So, let's take a look at a little challenge. As always, you've got a lot of challenges in each show. I've got 3 examples for you right now, and only one is correct. So listen carefully, and we'll see if you can figure it out. A, I'd rather not watch TV. We don't say to see TV, we say to watch TV. So A, I'd rather not, que el I'd es una contracción de I would, ¿ok? Pero otra vez, cuando contraemos, suena más natural. Es lo que hacemos nosotros. I'd rather not watch TV. Does that sound correct? How about B? I'd rather not to watch TV. B. I'd rather not to watch TV is B. Or perhaps C sounds correct to you. I'd don't rather to watch TV. C is I'd don't rather to watch TV. Y otra vez el I would lo contraemos. ¿Por qué? Porque es más natural y porque muchos españoles dicen I wool. Y wool es lana. O sea, quita la L de esa palabra, no la D, wood. De hecho, suena como madera, right? I would buy wood for the fire, but I don't have any money, right? Leña o madera. All right, I've given you some time. Which one's correct? Did you say A? Oh, good. I couldn't fool you. No te pude engañar. No a vosotros. No, you're too good. All right, well, I'd rather is the same as saying I prefer. Okay? So I prefer to eat pizza or I'd rather eat pizza. ¿Qué es lo que acabas de notar? I'd prefer to eat pizza. So prefer lo empleamos con to. Rather no lo empleamos con el to. Make a couple examples in your notebook. Ponlo con ambas. I prefer to eat Chinese food. I'd rather, I would, otra vez lo contraemos, I'd rather eat Chinese food. And personally, I'd rather you use rather instead of prefer, because that's the one native people would rather use.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, 'cause homophones rhyme.
Hello and welcome to our homophone section here on the show. Here's where we take a look at some tricky words. That's right, very tricky, but hopefully you'll be familiar with the words and you'll know how to pronounce them. And if you don't worry, because you will by the end of this section today. I promise. So, the only thing you have to promise me, y cuidado con esta palabra, he oído muchos alumnos decir promise. No, promise. So you have to promise me something, that you're going to say these words aloud, whether you knew them or not, independientemente, whether you knew them or not, I want you to say them aloud, because as we always say, practice makes perfect. All right, the first word is aire. Aire. I think everybody knows this one. ¿Habéis tenido Jordan? Las zapatillas de deporte Jordan. Pues ahí está, ¿no? Su apodo, Jordan. También tiene otros significados, como muchas palabras en inglés. Y si añadimos la preposición out, es abrir ventanas para que pase el aire. Okay, so no es solo aire, es el verbo de dejar que pase aire en una habitación. También es emitir. Ya, seguro si has estado en un estudio de televisión como este, o una radio como nuestra radio, check out Vaughan Radio. Hay una aplicación gratis y tienes clases todos los días. The Show with No Name, for example. Pues también te suena el on en emisión. Eso es la primera palabra. The second word is somebody who inherits money. So somebody in your family who's wealthy, ¿no? Adinerado, wealthy, they pass away, fallecen. And you inherit money. Otra forma de decirlo es you come into money. Tenemos un phrasal verb para todo aquí, ¿eh? So, that's the heredero, you say in Spanish, ¿no? El heredero, lo usan con también con reyes, ¿no? Pero vamos a ver con dinero. La misma palabra, pero yo creo que en el día a día lo usaríamos más la gente normal, legado, dinero, pero también con la monarquía. All right, so, what do you think? Do the words sound the same? Yes, they do. Did you think that the second word was pronounced like pelo, hair? It's not. No. It's a silent H. It's air. O sea, air, aire, emisión, también heredero sound exactly the same. That's right. Now, the word hair does have a homophone, pelo. Do you know it? A ver si te la sabes. Hair. ¿Qué otra palabra suena como pelo? ¿No se escribe igual como todos los homófonos que miramos? Do you know it? Liebre. Yeah, ese se escribe H-A-R-E. Hair and hair sound the same. And air, aire, emisión, and heredero sound the same as well. We love playing with words here on the show with no name.
You're joking.
Hello, amigos, and welcome to You're Joking. This is where we take a look at some jokes and our mission, our objective, our aim, our goal. ¿Quieres más formas de decir meta? Our mission, our goal here is to play with words and make you laugh and hopefully teach you a double meaning, algo con doble significado. So as always, your job is very easy in this section. All you have to do is listen and see if you get it. Y ver si lo captas, si lo pillas. So, did I tell you guys about this? I don't know if I told you. Well, when I go to a sports bar, a sports bar where you can watch the game, los británicos suelen decir match, pero es la misma cosa, right? Lo mismo con field. El field es el campo. Sin embargo, los británicos dicen the pitch. Es que no estamos de acuerdo en nada. So yeah, I bring my remote, my TV remote control. You could say your remote or your remote control. And I bring it into every sports bar I go to. Yeah, that's right. So this way I can change the channel whenever I want. Yeah. Oh, it's a real game changer. Game changer. A game changer? Did you get it? I bring my remote over to the local sports bar and I use it to change the channel. Well, what's on TV? A game. So I'm literally changing a game, right? Cambiando el partido. But also a game changer. Let me give it to you in context to see if you get it. Many people say the iPhone was a game changer. What does that mean, del contexto? A game changer. The internet was a game changer. Cambió las reglas del juego. Cambió el juego, como decimos. It was a game changer. Era un antes y un después, right? Another way we can express this is a turning point, punto de inflexión. It was a turning point for communication. So think of other things. Again, the best way to practice this vocabulary is in real situations. So think of other things, other inventions, other things that were game changers. Disneyland, not the one in Paris, the one in California. That was a game changer, right? That was a new beginning for theme parks. Can you think of any other game changers? I just gave you a couple. iPhone, right? Because before that, nobody really had smartphones. Okay, you could text, you could send an email, BlackBerry, but that touch screen, it changed the game forever. Thus, we call it a game changer. Hey, this show is a game changer. Video killed the radio star. Video killed the radio star. Hey, amigos. I remember that. That was the first song that ever aired, to air, estar en emisión, that ever aired on MTV. That's when they used to play music. I don't think MTV plays music videos anymore. They just have shows like Jersey Shore, Pregnant at 15. I don't know what happened. It was a revolutionary idea. It was a game changer. And then they changed everything. That's weird. And they even had a program called Remote Control. That's where Adam Sandler started. If you watch old episodes of the the game show, el juego televisivo, remote control, you can see a very, very young Adam Sandler. So where did TV start? Well, like with many inventions, there were many people. There were many predecessors and many different inventions that had to be invented beforehand. For example, you can't have the smartphone if you don't have internet, right? So you can't have the smartphone if you didn't have a touch screen. So there were a lot of other predecessors, a lot of other inventions that had to happen. But some of the people, pioneers such as Leon Theremin, Philo Farnsworth, ¿te suena de Futurama? Farnsworth, Charles Francis Jenkins, he was another one, William Bell, Boris, and so many others. They were all pioneers in the television. But the first person to create live pictures, not alive es que respiran, live es en directo. Live pictures is considered to be the brains, right? Realmente el que lo hizo. And this is a guy named John Logie Bard. He is the forefather of the TV. Oh, and cuidado. I've heard a lot of students say TB. TB, por favor. TB es corto para tuberculosis. Prefiero TV.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is.
Hello, amigos, and welcome to our Double Trouble section here on the show with no name. As always, here's where we play with words. Well, here and in every section. We're always playing with words here on the show. That's what it's all about. Why? Because if you can play with words, that means you feel comfortable with them, right? The language doesn't seem so foreign. Y cuidado con la pronunciación de eso, foreign. He lives in a foreign country. No foreign, foreign country. Otra también que me recuerda a esta palabra es vive en el extranjero. Pues tenía una alumna que me dijo, he lives in the stranger. No, eso es extranjero, persona. So he lives in a foreign country, a foreign land, or abroad. Abroad. Quiero que lo digas conmigo porque he oído abroad mil veces. Y no es abroad, sino abroad. Have you ever lived abroad? Have you ever lived in a foreign country? Well, those are two words that my students tend to have difficulty pronouncing. That's why I wanted to highlight them, destacarlos. All right, so are you ready for your double trouble challenge? I think it's going to be a tough one today. Let's see. Él dijo que no quería hacer surf, así que decidió hacer zapping. Hacer zapping en español castellano es cambiar de canales, ¿no? Ver la tele cambiando de canales. ¿Ok? Porque en inglés, to zap something es ponerlo en el microondas. Yeah, so cuidado. If you're zapping something in my country, piénsalo, lo pones ahí y lo cocina. You're zapping it. So, cuidado con esa. Es un false friend. So, la primera parte es súper fácil. He said, no said, he said, suena como tengo sed. He said he didn't want to surf. Y eso es otra palabra. Yo sé que decís surf, pero cuando quieres decir la palabra en inglés, cambia la U por una E. No cuando lo deletreas, pero en tu cabeza. Ahora dilo. Surf, que también significa esa palabra sirviente. So the surf likes to surf. Ahí tienes unos homófonos. All right? So he said he didn't want to surf. So he decided to channel surf. Eso es, channel surfing es viendo la tele cambiando de canales. De hecho, to surf también es navegar. Yeah, you can surf the internet as well. All right, amigos, practice these words and their pronunciation.
The totally native saying of the day. And it goes a little something like this.
Hey, amigos, how's it going? Well, I've got to tell you something. I'm making some fries right now. I wish you could smell them. They smell great. Fries, patatas, fritas, right? Las que no vienen en la bolsa, las calientes, right? And how do we say patata? Potato? No, it's potato. En inglés británico y en inglés americano. Entonces, británicos, os pregunto, ¿por qué es tomato en vez de tomato? O sea, ahí lo pronunciáis como nosotros, pero para la otra no. Algo me falla ahí. You say tomato, I say tomato. Yeah, los británicos dicen tomato. We say tomato, sin embargo, potato lo decimos igual. Potato, tomato. A veces decimos eso cuando dices, bueno, tú me has entendido. Potato, tomato, whatever. And speaking of potatoes, do you know any potatoes? Any couch potatoes? ¿Qué? Couch potatoes? Patatas del sofá? Yeah, you heard me correctly. Couch potatoes. This is somebody who loves to lie on their sofa. Yeah, somebody whose favorite hobby is channel surfing and watching series. Yeah, I'm not a couch potato. You know why? Because I'm restless. Yo soy inquieto. La palabra rest es descanso. So restless, sin descanso, inquieto. I have ants in my pants, como decimos. Tengo hormigas en los pantalones, que no puedo estar quieto. But I know a few people who are quite lazy. Yeah, they're bums, holgazanes. A bum es un vago, un holgazán. Another way we can say it too is slacker. Hay una película muy famosa en inglés que se llama Slacker. And a slacker is somebody who likes to slack off. ¿Ves cómo jugamos con las palabras?
Lights, camera, action verbs.
Well, amigos, here we are. We're filming a TV show. That's right. And I know you know that, but you don't know what's in the studio here. Did you know this is a green screen? How do we say that in Spanish? You say croma. We call it, bastante lógico, a green screen. Yeah, in fact, that can disappear, that background, in 1 second. Also, we've got some lights. I've got lights over my head. Lights, you don't say luces en este caso, you say focos. Pero para nosotros es la misma palabra. Lights, camera, action. ¿Te suena? Es lo que dice mi amigo David cuando vamos a empezar. He's over here with me and he's keeping track of the time. He's the director of the program and also the editor. Hey, David, you do a lot of stuff, man. I think after this episode, I'm going to tell David, take 5. ¿Te sabes esta? Take 5. Oh, hombre, técnicamente es tómate 5 minutos de descanso, pero no tiene que ser 5 minutos. La expresión significa vamos a tomar un descanso. Y hablando de la palabra take 1, take 2. ¿Te suena? Toma 1, toma 2, toma 3, right? Toma ya. Mucho vocabulario para ti.
Name that movie.
Hello and welcome to Name That Movie. Today we're going to take a look at an awesome movie, peliculón. It's called The Truman Show, starring Jim Carrey. And he really carries the movie. Okay, all right. And is Jim Carrey related to Mariah Carey? No, they're not spelt the same. They are pronounced the same, though. All right, let's take a look at this line. This is a line that's repeated a lot in the movie. Truman says, "Good morning. Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night." Now, when do we say this? When do we say good morning? Well, obviously, in the morning. Okay, smarty pants, listillo. When do we say good afternoon? At 12 o'clock noon. O sea, a las 12 de mediodía. It's 12 o'clock noon, right? And what about good evening? Well, good evening is after work. And good night? Right before you go to bed. Don't mix them up, because I know in Spain you say good morning until 2 p.m.
It's time for the multiple choice challenge.
Hello and welcome to our multiple choice challenge. I've got 3 examples for you, but only one is correct. Let's see if you know which one it is. A, would you mind tell me where the museum is? A, would you mind tell me where the museum is? What about B? Would you mind to tell me where the museum is? ¿Te suena mejor esa? La B. Would you mind to tell me where the museum is? Y fijaos en la pronunciación. Museum. Museum. Hay un sonido z ahí por medio. And C. Would you mind telling me where the museum is? Otra vez. Would you mind telling me where the museum is? Which one of those is correct?